In this video, I'm going to show you how to do what I'm calling neutral glam, where it doesn't look like you're wearing a whole lot of makeup, but it just looks really polished. So in order to make this look work, you need to use the colors that look good on you. So here's the ones that I'm using. So depending on your eye color, you may want to choose another color other than this one. I'm just doing 3 eyeshadow colors. This is going to be the all over color. This is Blossom. And this is Dusty Rose, I think. Yeah. And then this is Crystalline. Now, if your eyes are a different color, I don't know what other color to suggest except for, of course, I forgot it as soon as I said this. I did it in another video where I was doing the neutral look. Hazelnut. So this is a good general color to use if you want a neutral look, but you're not sure which eye color would look good on you. That one should look good on everybody. But in order to make it look really good on me, I need a color that's going to pop with my green eyes. So that's why I'm doing the Dusty Rose. So first thing I did, prepped my brows, which meant I just went over them with an alcohol wipe to get all the maybe like oils and things out. And then I'm going to take a spoolie and I'm going to comb through them. Now, what you do with your brows for this look depends on the state of your brows and what look you're going for. So mine were severely overplucked in the 90s, and some of my brow hairs have grown back, but not all of them. So not going to go very heavy. I'm not going to try to make them look perfect. Just want to make them look not quite as sparse. So I'm going to take the micro brow pencil in brunette and just kind of lightly try to outline making sure, and I've done this in the other brow video I did, to make sure that your brows start at the right point, which is about where this one starts, and then line that up with your pupil, and where it intersects your brow should be where the arch is, and then end of your eye where the pencil intersects should be where your brow ends. So mine are about right. And where I need the most brow hairs is at the tail here. So that already looks better, just that. Just doing that. I'm just going to do a little bit with the front of the brow. And I think that's about all for the outline of that brow. And then for the other one, remember that your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So they're not gonna, this one is a little slopier. This one's a little flatter and more square in the front. The other one's a little roundier in the front. And if you mess up, then you can wipe it off and start over. I'll put a little bit up here too. And then a little bit here. All right, so those are outlined, so I'm just going to work on just lightly doing little hair-like strokes to fill them in just a little bit. Not what I would normally do. I'm not going to use the pomade or anything like that. Just very lightly. And if your brows are natural and you've never plucked them or had them done, I wouldn't do anything except maybe use the spoolie to comb through them and use the, oh, what's it called? The gel, the clear brow gel. Also, if your brows, if you've got plenty of brow hairs, but they're blonde and then they get, like they're hard to see, they don't stand out on your face, the brow tint would be great for you. It's just that for the brow tint to work, you have to have the hair there, and I don't have I'm missing a lot of hair, so that's why I'm doing this. And the pomade works too, but I think this is definitely easier, and I'm more, I don't know, like I've practiced doing this because I was using a brow pencil a lot longer than I was a Mary Kay consultant, so I feel more comfortable using the pencil than I do a brush, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm trying to get as little product as possible. I think that's pretty much good enough. This could double as an out the door look. Just to, like, if you don't have time, like you just don't have time. But I've realized recently that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. If you are running low on time, it doesn't mean it has to be a skincare only day. You could do just a little bit. I still want to do this and make sure that my eyes are prepped for the eyeshadow. But I think if you want to do a really nice, like neutral glam look like what I'm doing, it's not necessarily going to be a 5-minute look either. But it just depends on what you want to do. You can kind of mix some of the two. Maybe just do that much concealer. If you decide your brows need to be plucked, this is a good point in the process to do it, because you can see more clearly what you didn't include in your outline. But I'm not going to do that now. And if you looked really close, there would be a lot of little teeny hairs here that didn't get pulled out, which is fine. I feel like I need to add a little something to this. This brow feels like it's a little skinny right here. That's getting better. I think that's better. This looks like it's got a, looks like I got a scar in it. I don't. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take this primer, which is supposed to be foundation primer, so it's not meant to use on your eyes. So I just use the tiniest little bit and make sure I don't get it in my eye. And I'm noticing that this brow seems to be something wrong with. I'm going to go through and just kind of like cover up the bottom of it. Just a little bit. Now these colors I'm getting ready to use, I actually my first thought was to use Candlelight. But then when I looked at it, I realized that that was a lot darker than I thought for this kind of look. I'm really hoping that this other color isn't in here still, because I'm going to use this all over brush in the Blossom And I'm going to go all over. It's kind of mostly white with a little pinkish purplyish like undertone. Okay, and then I'm going to take the angled brush, make sure it's got all the color out of it. I'm just doing like this. I really should wash my brushes, but oh well. And then I'm going to go into the Dusty Rose. That needs to be kind of smoothed up a little bit, but that will look better when it's blended. And then I'm gonna take this brush, the smudger brush, and go into the crystalline, sorry. Then we're gonna have kind of some fun with this. This is where we're gonna make it kind of be more polished looking. You could have done all over with this color too. So this is where I'm gonna kind of like, you don't want too much because you don't want it to look like all white either. And maybe if I had done the oh, what's it called? The candlelight would have been a little bit more color there, not so much white. And we'll see how this looks when we put it all together. And I might end up going back and adding some candlelight to that. In fact, I think I will. I'll figure out where I'll put the candlelight. I feel like this looks whiter than this one does. Not sure why. Let me see where I put the candlelight. Here it is. Let's see. I'm going to use this one, the angled brush. Let me put this in here real quick. All right, so candlelight. I'm just putting that a little bit on the lid. Might make it not. The only reason I decided against this one is because it's also very shimmery, but it's not quite as white looking. In fact, you could have done this for this color. So I think that's starting to look better. I'm gonna put that up in the crease a little bit too. Okay, let's blend that. See what that looks like. Okay, so let's see what this ends up looking like when I add the rest of the face. So now I'm going to use the color corrector. And this is a new thing I've started doing. Instead of dabbing it on my face first, put it on this brush first, the cream color brush. And I'm probably still going to rub this in with my finger too. This is just to cover up the dark circles and some of the age spots. Or, sorry, my sister calls them sunspots. She says they are not age spots. Okay. You just want to be careful that you don't get this to the point where it might make any lines stand out. Well, you're not supposed to use that finger there. Oh well. Okay. I didn't just wake up either. I don't know why that's there. Okay. So now we're going to put on some primer. And then, or you could use CC cream if you wanted to. And maybe just put a little bit, not put as much as I normally put. We'll start with that much, just on this side. Okay, about the same amount on the other side. And I was always taught that you need to like put your foundation on your neck too so you don't see like a line. Well, then it occurred to me, if you're wearing the right shade of foundation, you shouldn't see a line. So I'm gonna just put a little bit on here for my forehead. Might need a little bit more than that. I like this brush because it goes around my eyebrows and my hairline real easily. It's nice and small. All right, blush. Unless you want to do powder, we could do powder next. But I'm going to do blush next. So this is the blush I'm going to use, this hint of pink. You could also do like a contour if you wanted, but I'm not going to. It's starting to come together, I think, and look pretty neutrally, but also polished. I can imagine like doing this kind of look for doing errands around town or somewhere where you want to look nice and put together. You don't want to just not wear makeup, but you don't want to look like you're overly made up, like you're not going to an evening event or you're not even going to work. So now I normally would use that this product or even the other highlighter, which I'm about out of. I think I've got another one. This is the other highlighter. But any of those lighter colors you can use as a highlighter. I just had a wild idea. I've never done this before. Can I use Candlelight as a highlighter? Let's find out. So I'm going to take my all over brush, or you could take I tell you what, let's change my mind. Let's take this one instead. And I'm going to go in the Candlelight, get a goodly amount, and then I'm just going to do a line on top of this. Ooh. Ooh, it's almost the same color, which is crazy because it doesn't look like it. So I'm just doing like a line of the highlighter. And you can put this anywhere you want a highlight on your face. You could put it on the end of your nose. You could put it like right above your lips. Seen people do that before, which if you're getting ready to go to an event where you're going to be eating or drinking, I don't see the point of doing it here, but that's pretty. And you can also, if you wanted it just a little bit lighter, put some of the crystalline in there too. That just really brightens that up. Like I said, you can do this anywhere you want. That highlight, we can do some like right here, inner corners. I'm mixing the two. But can't, look at that. Look how bright that is. Okay. And then we just need to blend that some with I'm going to use the cheek color brush to blend that in. And then I'm going to use, this is what I was telling you about. If your brows are in good shape and you don't need to like add anything to them, you can just use this clear brow gel. But I'll tell you, before I do that, I just want to double check. I'm just going to comb through them and make sure that I don't need to add any more. Maybe a little bit in the front. Sometimes you accidentally mess up your brows when you're putting on your foundation. Okay. So I'm just doing little strokes because I don't want to mess them up too much. And then this is what's really going to make my eyes pop, is when I do the mascara. One coat. One coat of whatever mascara you want. You do more than one coat, it's not going to look as like neutrally. Although it looked more glam, I guess. You could also do a little bit of eyeliner if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm not proficient at eyeliner. I'll admit that. I think this look would look really cool with like just a tiny little flick of an eyeliner right there. Okay. I think that really does pop my eyes. And then you could put any, just about, not even do powder. I don't think I even need the powder. Oh, I will do this real quick. I'm going to take this candlelight and just put a little bit on my nose. All right, and then, so for lips, you could do the, what's it called? This one, it's kind of Sheer Illusion. It's funny, I remembered the name of it when I picked it up. You could do Fancy Nancy. You could do Pink Ballerina. But this one I think I found is the one that looks the best on me. And that is the Unique Mauve. I wouldn't do lipstick for this look at all. If you're wanting it to be kind of neutral, you don't need lipstick. Just a little polish. I kind of got a little too much right there. That's better. Yeah. What do you think? So I'm going to get dressed and do a selfie and see what you think of this neutral glam look.